Right, yeah, so you joined us after the budget of 2025. I'm joined with a couple of new faces as well from the team. So obviously I'm Dave Armour. I've got
Lucy Painter from Funding Round.
Matt Harrison, Financial Advisor from Tower House Wealth Management.
Yeah, and so our plan today is to sort of sit here and have a chat about our thoughts on the budget and sort of how it's going to sort of affect most of our clients and what we think, sort of what we feel is going to happen from this budget. So first off, it didn't seem really much of a muchness, this budget, did it really? It just feels like, again, sort of fluffing around the edges a bit, and it's they're thinking bits and pieces. The main sort of headline grabbing ones are obviously the freezing of the bands, which are your personal rate, tax-free allowances, higher rates and upper rates as well. And yeah, the fiscal drag that's going to be sort of brought along with that as well. Again, with the increase to minimum wage, which, yes, it looks nice on paper. Your wages are going up, but you are going to be paying more tax, and therefore, as we all know, if the salary costs go up, your food prices and everything else like that goes up in line with that as well. So, yeah, there are a few other sort of bits and pieces and stuff like that we can pick through as well, but I'm interested to sort of know your thoughts on where you feel from your markets. How do you think the budget went for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, from a financial planning perspective, I would say no news is good news, and to some extent a bit of certainty for the stock market and for longer term planning. There were some unwelcome changes, of course, with the budget, which we all expected. Yeah. I think they strangely did quite a good job of ramping up so much fear that when the budget came, it didn't feel like the sledgehammer that we perhaps thought it might be.
Bit of a damp squid.
It was. So particularly from pensions, the biggest question I had over the past 3 months is, are they going to touch my tax-free cash? And thankfully, they've completely left that alone. We did see an announcement a few weeks ago from the Treasury, because there was so much concern and panic and people were legitimately taking their money out of pensions and the markets were freaking out, that the Treasury had to step in and say that's not happening. Yeah. So we kind of knew beforehand, but it was nice to get official confirmation yesterday, which is when more people would have been listening, and the markets reacted positively overall for the day, which was nice to see. But I'm sure you've got a lot of bits to cover that weren't so pleasant.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you can flip it round as well, can't you, and look at it from the business perspective. And you talked about the tax burden rising for businesses. Actually, that's going to be additional cost for them. And there was nothing really there in the budget. I mean, it was all tweaked at the edges, it felt like. So there was nothing that really you could say is going to stimulate growth from the private sector. And that's really, I think, what business owners, and you were talking about certainty and uncertainty, that's really what business owners want to see, is something where they can see, yes, I can use this as a growth trajectory going forwards. Yeah. So it perhaps wasn't as positive from an SME perspective as they would have liked to have seen. Don't get me wrong, there are a few little bits and pieces in there which we'll cover that they can use to help grow, but there was nothing that's a big springboard for them.
No, it wasn't a growth budget.
No, it wasn't a growth budget.
Certainly not for the SME market, unfortunately. It does seem very geared up towards the public sector and helping the sort of welfare state and everything like that, which, I understand we do need to look after people and to help families as well. But also, a lot of your funding, a lot of your income comes from the private sector.
Yeah.
Your entrepreneurs, your 14-hour-day sort of people that will work and bring that money in and bring that cash flow into the economy. And again, it does, without being too political, it does seem like a very typical Labour budget again. I know I've said this last year, and again this year it does seem again where we're increasing the taxes on dividends and property income as well. Dividends is kicking in from April 2026, so 6th of April 26. Your dividend rate is going up by 2 percentage points for your basic rate band and also your higher rate. So that means that you're going from 8.75% to 10.75% dividend tax, and 33.25% to 35.25%. The upper rate has been left, but it's still not ideal. And then you've got the other side as well for the actual businesses. You've got your written down allowances, so that's previously you had 18% writing down allowance of the actual asset each and every year. It's now dropping down to 14% off your tax bill. Again, it's not a huge amount, but it just underlines that the feeling that it's not really there for growth, it's not really there for helping the private sector grow again, and it does sort of hamper you a lot, certainly with the property taxes as well, where that's going up to 22% and 42% from April 2027 tax year onwards. But then also we factor in the fact as well that your bandings are still staying the same, so you're earning more, you're therefore going to be paying more tax, and it doesn't feel like it's built for working families, working people, and everything like it. It still feels like it is very much geared towards the public sector and not the private.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No, and as you said, there's the tax rises and where the spend was going to be was absolutely on welfare reform and that fiscal buffer, rather than anything that could be transformational to help support the growth. So there was very little impact there, wasn't there?